All right, later today, President Obama will announce his pick to replace Leon Panetta as Secretary of Defense. It will be former Nebraska Senator Chuck Hagel, a Purple Heart recipient, but one major veterans group says he's the wrong choice for the job. Joining me right now is Army veteran, CEO of Concerned Veterans for America, Pete Hegseth. Pete, does Senator Hagel have your support?
Brian, thanks. No, he doesn't. And there's a couple of reasons up front. Obviously, on the foreign policy front, some of the stuff that's already been talked about, his unwillingness to designate Hezbollah as a terrorist organization. He wants he wants Israel to negotiate with Hamas and didn't push sanctions on Iran. I mean, the mullahs in Tehran are happy about this pick. They see it as a path to a bomb. And certainly his criticism, his out-and-out criticism of Israel and the Jewish lobby is not the type of thing we need from a Secretary of Defense. Personally, as someone who served in Iraq right before the surge, Chuck Hagel was also an adamant critic, including voting to cut off funding for the war. While our troops were in harm's way, while the surge was showing success, he denied the success of the troops on the ground. That's not something we're excited to see from a future Secretary of Defense.
And I'll give you an example. When the war was maybe fought wrong, when the insurgency we were slow to react to that, McCain and Lindsey Graham and Senator Berman came forward and were upset with the strategy. They didn't abandon their vote for the war. Senator Hagel supported the war. When it started to be tougher in the aftermath after the invasion, he abandons the war. When the surge was put in place, he says it'll never work. It works. And he said it didn't have anything to do with anything militarily.
Yeah. That's not, you want to see resolve from a senator or from a Secretary of Defense. You want to see a path to success. That's what the troops want to see, the guys on the ground. They want to see a clear mission and the ability to execute it. That's what some senators did, McCain, Lieberman, and Graham, and others who came together to say we need a new strategy. Chuck Hagel just continued to say it can't work and the military can't do it, even after the surge was successful on the ground. There's a lot of future stuff coming up on spending in the Defense Department. Chuck Hagel hasn't passed a single meaningful piece of legislation on defense policy and hadn't had a major speech on it. Where is he on the big spending issues coming forward on the Pentagon? We don't know, and that's not a good sign in light of the debt crisis we face in this country.
And Pete, you did tell me in the break you salute him for his service, what he's given to the country, and also for his great work for veterans, but you just don't think he's right for Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, he'd be great for the Department of Veteran Affairs. He's one of the guys who pushed the GI Bill. We give him credit for that completely. But Secretary of Defense requires someone with a clear vision, with some nuance on defense policy in light of spending crisis we're in right now, and then is forceful in support of the United States military and its allies. That's not Chuck Hagel.
Captain Pete Hegseth, thanks so much. Appreciate it. We'll see how the proceedings go forward. Be anything but smooth, even if he does get confirmed. Pete, thanks.